Happy Thanksgiving, Heat fans. Welcome to the Heat Report by Chat Sports. I am Nic Rohloff. We have some injury news to discuss on Jimmy Butler today and how we got some positive news on number 22. And we'll also discuss what happened over the past two games against the Bucks and against the Charlotte Hornets and look ahead to this weekend's action against the Raptors. Twice, by the way, Friday and Sunday. But it is Thanksgiving, and I want to do a fun exercise down in the comment section. Let me know what you're thankful for down in the comments. It can be something from the Heat. It can be something from your life. It does not matter. Let me know what you're thankful for down below. All right, let's get into the real news here and the reason why you clicked on this video. And it is Jimmy Butler. Back tightness is the reason why he left the game against the Hornets on Wednesday night. Did not return in the fourth quarter, but he is listed as probable for this game against the the Raptors on Friday night, which is good news, which means he probably isn't going to miss any time. And I'm glad we can be mellow about this. Shout out Mellow Seltzer, a drink that I certainly had over the holidays, and maybe you need some as well. If you do, let me know on social media at Nic_Rohloff. But I was concerned because when you're talking about these older players, 35, 36-year-olds, and you start mentioning back issues, this is something that could linger around for a long time. And when he kind of flinched the way he did in the second half against Charlotte on Wednesday and did not return in that game, I got concerned. I was like, well, is Jimmy going to be out multiple weeks here? As we've now seen Kevin Love be ruled out for this game against the Raptors. He missed Wednesday against the Hornets. So that's 2 games the veteran's going to miss due to back injury himself. So you get a little bit concerned. And Jimmy, as we mentioned, did not return in the game on Wednesday against Charlotte. He played in 25 minutes. The injury happened late in the third quarter, and then he did not play the entire fourth quarter as the Hornets erased a 15, 16-point deficit to get that game actually in their favor before Tyler Hero hit a clutch shot with under a minute to go. Jimmy was not that engaged anyway in the game against Charlotte. It was a little bit frustrating, if you will. Now, you did get good performances from Duncan Robinson and Tyler Hero, and Jimmy was taking a little bit of a back seat after being the forefront of the offense the previous 3 games against the Bucks, against the Hornets, against the Mavericks on Sunday. So you can tell when the Heat are a better team when they have Jimmy Butler healthy and motivated. And I mean, he wasn't motivated on the second night of a back-to-back against the Charlotte Hornets. I can understand allowing a Bam, a Tyler Hero, Duncan, other young players to take the reins in those specific matchups and let Jimmy kind of take over against the better teams like Milwaukee and the Dallas Mavericks. But I do think we need to talk about last night. Now that we have gotten the injury news about Jimmy Butler out of the way, if you will, the Heat might have won yesterday. 98-94 was the final against the Charlotte Hornets. But you can't feel good about that win. It was embarrassing. It was terrible. The Heat led at one point in the second half by 20 points. 20! And then they were trailing with under a minute to go in that game. And then Tyler Hero saved you. You went down by 1 late in that game. After LaMelo Ball, Brandon Miller came storming back. Luckily, Tyler Hero showed nails and hit a 3-pointer to put you back up by 2 points with under 40 seconds to go. And then he made another incredible play on the defensive side of the ball where he reads the keys, knows what Charlotte's trying to do, leaves his man in the corner to blitz Brandon Miller, who was getting it after little fading away, popping away from a screen he set for LaMelo Ball, and then stole the ball, got fouled. Now he went 1 of 2 at the line, only put Miami up 3 with a little time to go, or up 2, I should say. But either way, Tyler Hero saved you last night from an embarrassing loss where we would have had to have conversations about a lot of people on this team. Tyler did not have the most efficient couple of games and has been in a little bit of a cold stretch, if you will. But he was great in the fourth quarter yesterday. Finished with, I believe, a team-high 28 points. It was either 28 or 27. I can't remember the exact number. And had 12 points in the fourth quarter, and obviously the game-winning steal. Tyler Hero has been your best player this season in the fourth quarter. There's no doubt about that. All right, after the loss against the Bucks on Tuesday where Milwaukee was out Giannis, and then the barely escaped win against the Hornets on Wednesday, is there a concern level on the Heat from the past 2 games from you? They currently are 8-8. Let me know if you have a concern level on the Heat scale 1 to 10. I do have a concern level, and it is at a 10. I don't care what people say. I don't care that they won against the Charlotte Hornets on Wednesday. This team is so painfully mid, man. It is. Like, sure, they are a top 6 team in the Eastern Conference right now. It's because the Eastern Conference is horrible. it's an abysmal, it's a joke about how bad the East is compared to the West. And I tweeted this out after the game last night. Nobody should be happy after that win. I don't care. I know it was on the road and Jimmy didn't play in the fourth quarter. This team clearly stinks. I still think they should be sellers at the deadline. This is where I'm at. I'm sorry. I'm not going to apologize for any longer because when you think about the future of this organization, does it look like a team that can win a title this season? If you answer yes, I think you're delusional. I'm sorry. Maybe you can call me out for this, but he's not. This team is not winning a championship this season. There's other teams way better than you, and this team is not turning it around. So why not trade Jimmy Butler before he hits free agency this offseason? Why not trade Terry Rozier? Try to recoup some assets and look towards the future in the draft and free agency by clearing up some space because this team is not going to win. Can they win one playoff series in a bad Eastern Conference this year? Sure. But they are not going to beat the Boston Celtics in a 7-game series. I don't think they'll beat the New York Knicks in a 7-game series. The way the Cavs have played this year, I don't think they'd beat them in a 7-game series. Maybe they can beat other teams like the Magic, the Pacers, and teams that are in that little tier as Miami is. But they're not beating the upper echelon teams in the East. There's no way. So why are you going to hold on to your assets and lose them for potentially nothing? Trade at the deadline. And when you talk about some of the reasons why this team has struggled so far in this season, it's because of Terry Rozier not playing at the level we thought he could be able to play. I can't stand watching him take horrible shots time after time after time. If I have to watch him pass up a catch-and-shoot three to take one dribble, sidestep, contested three-point shot one more time, I'm going to break something. It's ridiculous how many times he passes open catch-and-shoot three to put the ball on the deck and then shoot a step back. And right now, it's also pretty painful watching Bam Adebayo and Jaime Jaquez Jr. on the offensive end. They do a lot of nice things defensively, but when they have the ball in their hands and they try to create or make a shot, it is ugly. And we'll talk more about that in just a second. But make sure you are subscribed to the channel because we're putting out content on a daily basis here at the channel, whether it be watch parties, those are returning very shortly, as well as videos, short-form content. Hit that sub button. We will have everything you need when it comes to the Miami Heat. All right, Bam Adebayo has not been good this season offensively, and it just needs to be said. He's averaging 16 points per game, which would be the lowest mark in the last 3 or 4 seasons. He's not averaging double-digit rebounds. He's playmaking a little bit more, but he's not shooting well from the field either. He's incorporating this three-point shot where he's shooting 33%, which honestly is fine. Like I said this before the year, if he shoots 2.5, 3 shots from deep a game, which he is doing right now, and shoots 33, 35%, I will take that because it's his first year doing so. But he is so inefficient in the mid-range this season. He is one of the worst finishing centers inside the paint, inside the restricted area, 8 feet in and from the basket, to where he's shooting 43% from the field. And yes, that number was always going to take a dip when you incorporate the three-point shot. But after shooting 40, 58, 60% the past couple of seasons, it should not be below 50% whatsoever, even with adding the three-point shot. He's looking like Draymond Green out there right now. And I don't want that to be anything like of a slight to Bam because Draymond Green's a Hall of Famer. He's been great, and his entire career has been predicated on screen assists, defensive assists, hockey assists, which that's a top player in NBA history. So that's not an issue for me with Bam, but the issue is the amount of shots he is taking and the amount of shots he's missing. Like he is not able to score in that 15 feet and inside the rim basket right now, which is where he's made his living. It's just hasn't been good. And when you combine that with the struggles of Jaime Jaquez Jr., it's been real tough to watch. Jaime has been horrible. And specifically over the last 4 games, it has been atrocious. He has played no more than 20 minutes after being someone who is anticipated to be a 6th Man of the Year candidate, be someone that can be relied on in the clutch moments, play a lot of minutes for this team. He is not playing in close games late. Spoelstra is electing to go with the rookie second-round pick, Pallel Larson, over Jaquez. And I don't blame him because he's not efficient. He shoots under 40% from the field every game he plays lately, and he has not been able to score. He is rushing himself. He plays too fast. It has been something that I believe has been an attention point and a focus of opposing defenses when playing the Heat. They know Jaime likes to drive inside, spin to his right hand. And right now, they have been adjusting to the second-year rookie. Call it a sophomore slump. Call it whatever you want. It's been sad to watch. It's been hard to watch because he has not been able to improve and be a dangerous threat from beyond the arc this season off the catch, which is what we wanted him to do from year 1 to year 2. He hasn't done it. He hasn't improved his playmaking enough. He turns the ball over when he drives into traffic, when he drives into the paint. And he's not finishing at the rate he did last year. And he's not getting those easy layups and dunks in the painted area because teams are not letting him cut back door as often. They are making themselves aware that Jaime likes to do that. It's been tough to watch. And when we come back to the end of today's show and talk about why it's been so tough to watch from the Miami Heat this year and why I think they should blow it up, is because there was one way, if you will, one pathway for the Heat to win a title this year. It was for contract year Jimmy to ball out, Bam Adebayo to be the same player as he has always been, but incorporate a three-point shot, getting an off-ball efficient Tyler Hero, a second-year sophomore Jaime Jaquez Jr. where he improved defensively, three-point range, and playmaking, and then a third-year leap from Nikola Jovic. Well, as we currently stand through 16 games where the Heat have an 8-8 record, out of the 5 things you needed, I think you can confidently say you've gotten one thing to go your way. Off-ball Tyler Hero. Contract year Jimmy. He's missed time, and he's been engaged in about 50% of the games. Bam has taken more threes, but his overall game has fallen off of a cliff. Jaime has been a massive disappointment this season, and Nikola Jovic is DNPs over the past 2 games. Not going to be able to win and do anything when you needed all of these things to go your way to compete this year because of the lack of talent and lack of roster moves made this offseason, and you're only getting 1 of 5. It just isn't going to be something that goes in your favor in terms of trying to win a championship this season. And I hope things turn around. I really do. I just don't see it going that way, and the reason why I said on today's show that I'm leaning towards selling at the deadline if it was me right now. All right, that's going to do it for today's show. Make sure you are subscribed because we will return with watch parties Sunday afternoon against the Toronto Raptors. Then we have a loaded week where we play the Lakers, we play the Celtics. Big week starting this upcoming Sunday, so lock us in here for watch parties as they return. Also, we'll have content on the daily, so make sure you are subscribed.